Hey guys, this is the Unit 3 and 4 review guide for Algebra 1. We're going to get started with number 1. Tell whether the statement is true or false. If it is false, explain why or show an example. Every function is a relation. Okay, so you have to understand like what is a function and what is a relation. So relation is like, in mathematics, it's like a rule relating an input and output. Okay, so if it has an input and output, we have a relation. So is every function a relation? Yes, because every function has an input and output. So this is true. Okay, but when we talk about every relation as a function, that's where things get difficult, because technically like 1, 2 and 1, 3, that could be a relation, right? This is relation, but this is not a function. So it's not true that every relation is a function. No, false. When you switch the inputs and outputs of any function, the resulting result is a function. This is also not true because you think about, okay, 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 2, this is a function, right? We have two different inputs. Each input has a different output. Yes, they have the same output, but that's okay. But if we switch these around, we have 2, 1 and 2, 3. Now it's not a function when we switch them. So it's an example. Okay, this is a function. That's not a function. Okay. When the domain of a function has infinite number of values, the range always has an infinite number of values. So remember, range is the y and domain is the x. If you think about an equation like y equals 3, well, technically y equals 3 goes on forever, right? It has infinite x values, but it does not have infinite y values. It only has one y value, one y value, and infinite x values, right? As an example, okay? Determine whether each graph represents a function. So again, when you're looking for a function, you're looking each input has only one output. That's what I'm looking for. When I look here at A, see how 2 has two different outputs, an output at 2 and an output at 5. And an output at 5 is an output at 1 and an output at 5 as well. So no, this is not a function for that reason. Whereas over here, right, it passes that vertical line test, right? No matter where I put a vertical line, it only intersects at one time. So this is a function. Given f of x is negative 3/4 x plus 10, find the following questions. So f of 8, f of negative 4, really important to know this. For f of 8, all this means is, when we have function notation, is that we're going to replace x with 8. So it's going to be negative 3/4 times 8 plus 10. That's it. What is negative 3/4 times 8? Well, 8 times 3 is, 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. Negative 24 divided by 4 is 6. So we have negative 6 plus 10. So this equals 4. So f of 8 equals 4. Okay, f of negative 4 is a different question. F of negative 4 is, we solve it the same way. Negative 3/4 times negative 4 plus 10. Just replace that x with a negative 4. Then here we're going to have a 3 plus 10, which is 13. So f of negative 4 equals 13. Find the value for x such that f of x equals negative 8. So this is telling us that the output f of x right here is negative 8. So that becomes the left side of the equation. And we're going to solve for x. So we're going to minus 10 both sides here. It's going to get us negative 18 equals negative 3/4 x. And then they're going to multiply both sides by 4. Is that negative 72 equals negative 3x. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. Okay, 72 divided by 3 20, nope, 30, okay, let's do it in the calculator. 72 divided by 3 is 24. Okay, so this means that 24 equals x. Okay, so when it does the f of x equals -8, or f of x equals something, you're going to put that as your output and solve for x. Okay, if it's on the inside, f of 8, f of -4, that just means plug it in. If it's saying the output equals that's replacing the f of x, and then you're solving for the x, right? I mean, it's keys that says find the value of x, right? So you're solving for x. Let's keep going here. Given the linear equation, -6x plus 2y equals 12, answer the following questions. Find the x and y intercept of the linear equation. This is really important, guys. You got to be able to find the x and y intercept. Very, very important. To find the x-intercept, again, you're going to set y equal to 0. So it's going to get -6x, really plus 0, equals 12. So -6x equals 12, divided by -6 both sides, x equals -2, right? To get the y-intercept, you're going to set x equal to 0. So it's going to be really 0 plus 2y equals 12, 2y equals 12, y equals 6. We divide by 2 both sides. And graph. So we can have 0, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and -2, 0, 1, 2, like this. And we get that. Okay. That's it. Write an equation that passes through 3, -2, and is parallel to the linear equation -6x plus 2y equals 12. We need to find the slope of this. We need to get the slope. And to get the slope, we want to get y alone. So to get y alone, we're going to add 6x both sides. We get 2y equals 6x plus 12. Divide both sides by 2. Y equals 3x plus 6. So if I want to be parallel, that means it has the same slope. You got to know that. Parallel means the same slope. So it means my m needs to be 3. Okay. And we can do this with point slope form. So one way with point slope form would be y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So that would be y plus 2 equals 3x minus 3. That's one way you could do it, and that would be one correct answer. The other way you could do it is y equals 3x plus b. You know, you're using y equals mx plus b form. And then you're solving for that b by plugging in the x and the y. So it'd be -2 equals 3 times 3 plus b. So that is -2 equals 9 plus b, -9 minus 9, -11 equals b. So therefore, y equals 3x minus 11. So this is correct, and this is correct. Both of these are correct. Okay? And I could convert that into that if I just got y alone. Write an equation of a line passing through -6, 1, and is perpendicular to the linear equation here. So we got before that this is y equals 3x plus 6. But perpendicular does not mean the same. Perpendicular means that it's going to be the negative reciprocal. So my slope is going to be -1/3 because this slope is 3. So I'm going to make it negative and basically reverse the numerator and denominator. Okay, so it becomes -1/3, -1/. Okay, and the method, we can use the same method. So we can do y minus 1 equals -1/3 x plus 6. That's one way we could do it. Or we could say y equals -1/3 x plus b. And we could plug in a 1 equals -1/3 times -6 plus b. So that's 1 equals 2 plus b. So -2 minus 2, -1 equals b. So y equals -1/3 x minus 1. This is my answer. Okay. Good? So two ways. Either is fine. This is point slope, and this is y equals mx plus b. Okay? And you can always check your answer, making sure that negative 6 and 1 fit inside this, right? Whatever, place x and y. All right. Let's do the word problem. 3 siblings each receive money for a holiday and then spend it at a constant weekly rate. The graph describes sibling A's spending. The table describes sibling B's spending. And the equation y equals negative 22.5x plus 90 describes sibling C's spending. The variable y represents the amount of money left after x weeks. Just to be clear, this is A and this is B. Write linear equations for sibling A and sibling B. So, from looking at this from sibling A, so we'll start with A. We are going to write it in y equals mx plus b. And I see here that my b is 80. That's given to me here. So I can just say, okay, so y equals something x plus 80. And then taking my m, again, m is, we need to know y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that would be m equals 20 minus 50 over 4 minus 2, which is 30, negative 30 over 2, which is negative 15. So answer is y equals negative 15x plus 80. That would be for A. For B, we can do something similar, but we're not given the 0, but we are given this. Now, I can see, because of the way it's written, the slope is really easy to find. Look, as I go over 1, up 1, up 1, up 1, how is this changing? Well, it's going down by 25. So that means my slope is going to be negative 25x. And if I went to 0, right, so 25 at 4, 50 at 3, 75 at 2, 100 at 1, when we went to 0, what would come next? What would be at 0? It would be 125. So in this case, there wasn't a lot of calculations I had to do. It was more looking at what's going on. As x goes up 1, money's going down 25. That's the slope, right? You could have gotten that by doing 75 minus 100 over 2 minus 1. That's negative 25 over 1. Same idea. That's the slope equation. And then what about the y-intercept? Well, if I just follow that pattern and go to 0, you can see that it's going to be 125. You could also have written this in point slope form. That's fine too. Which sibling received the least money? Explain how you know. Well, they got 125, they got 80, and they got 90. So sibling A received the least money because at week 0 they have $80 versus 90 or 125. Okay. Which sibling spends money at the fastest rate? Well, fastest rate. Rate means slope, right? Sorry, that was a slope here. Okay, look. What are the units for the slope? Well, we're paying at a different rate per week. So look, they're paying out $25 a week. Here they were paying $15 a week. And here they're paying $22.5 a week. So which one's the fastest? Well, sibling B is the fastest because it's got the biggest slope, right? The biggest, like, the most negative slope. Basically, sibling B is spending money at $25 a week, whereas like sibling C is spending at $15 a week, and sibling A is spending at $15 a week, and sibling C is spending at $22.50 a week. Which sibling runs out of money last? Explain how you know. Okay, so which one runs out of money last? Well, let's have a look here. It looks like A runs out of money. They have no money around 5 weeks, a little over 5 weeks. They run out of money. Well, when is B gonna run out of money? Well, you know what? We can find out when they run out of money when we set the amount of money they have to 0. So look, if I do 0 equals negative 25x plus 125, we solve for x, 25x equals 125, and we divide by 25. See that x equals 5. When we say that 0 equals negative 15x plus 80, we get 15x equals 80, and then x equals, what's 80 divided by 15? 5.3, roughly. 5.333, right? And then last one, 0 equals negative 22.5 plus 90, x, 22.5x equals 90. What's 90 divided by 22.5? 4. So who runs out of money last? That would be sibling B, because their x-intercept is the greatest. Okay, well, I hope to see you in office hours on Wednesday after school or Thursday morning. Good luck with the studying, guys. Do some more delta, and I'll see you soon.